Hello, my name is Andrew P860, and we are going to be playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent. This game came out in 2010 by Frictional Games. So let us start a new game. Let's start on normal mode.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. Shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done?
Hmm. 2010 by Frictional Games. There we go. Hello? Hello? Hello, my name is Andrew P860, and this is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. It was released in 2010 by Frictional Games. So let us start this new game. Start new game. Yep.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Follow the liquid trail and find its source. Boxes left. find out. What's in here? Turn on lights. Old archives. Fragment taste of those rose lingered in his mouth. Turkish delights, he thought, just like the ones. Books. Okay, I need to remain. Sheesh. Wind. Isn't there something? Light source. That's supposed to regain. Bugs. Let's get normal. That place is blocked off. Let's go this way. Picked up a lantern when filled with oil. It can turn on pressing F. Select inventory. So if I have oil, another light source. Let's turn that on. Picked up oil.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there'll be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Okay, a letter to myself. So no more mementos. Potions on the floor. That is the way I came. Let's just look around, make sure I'm not missing anything. There we go. The entrance hall. The door slammed shut behind him, and he knew he would never again see the old tailor in Berkeley Square, another lone soul in London. Saint Opprobrious. Bronze.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
That's going down. Let's just see what else is around here. Okay. Where are you? Laboratory. The other children cheered him on. His name voiced a steady rising place, urging him to do it. Am I really doing this? The young boy thought, struck his victim with a rock. Nothing is down there. What's this? The lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments have taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can and move them to the wine cellar. Chemical.
There should be more coop rats. Let me see. And one part aqua fortis.
One day I will return if it wasn't for the thought of you, my love. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them, they lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitali. The former compounds lack the potency I need, but I sense I am close. Calmine and opiment are a given, and the culprit binds them well. This time I will attempt aqua regia instead of aqua fortis, in hopes it will produce a more even solution. Experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid, and proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with great care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I am losing hope that I will find an alchemic solution to my predicament. Calmine, orpiment, culprite, and aqua regia. Okay. So let us find the wine cellar, I guess. He fell to the kitchen floor, tears began to well in his eyes. First kick of the stomach, Hazel remained hidden in fear she too was punished. What's down here? Wine cellar. It's locked and will not open without a key. Find a key for the wine cellar. Evidence in the laboratory has revealed the combination of 4 chemicals to perfect a powerful acid. Chemical ingredients have been moved from the laboratory to the mine zone. So I have to find a key. Locked door. Collapsed. The archives. Let's look in here. Traveling to Dover meant going through Canterbury. He made sure to pay a visit to avoid sense of guilt connected with the neglect of family. Door off its hinges. Here's another note.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
Anything in the drawers? No. Little figurine. Always go a little light. I thereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brittenberg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years, when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brittenberg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court, and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break the seal. Wilhelm, House of Gedrick. A contract.
th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Okay. This place down here. Let's go this way. Okay. Let's go back to a light source. It's through here. Just turn on some light. That wasn't a lot of light. Door there. Hallway goes where? It won't open. Here's locked. What was that? Some more oil. light over there. Fragile, but not breakable by hand. Okay. Find a new way out of this area. The door leading to the local history room is locked. Is there another entrance? That's what I'm going to find out.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Okay, some kind of puzzle. Turn on that light. There's a second book. Won't open, it's locked. So we got that book. Any other books? Nope. So maybe two. There's the third book. Maybe 3 books to open that door. It's under glass. Alistair and Brennenbit Castle, 1801. Another region rich in the lore of Alstrad, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries there has been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbour, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with the scattered lakes is as picturesque as you can be. Albeit, the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tale, but there are some muffs that keep root beer. The Gatherers. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revelants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside deep burlap steps, dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? Or else, if you desert, you become a bad guy and don't go into the woods. A visit undone. Hendrik Corlan Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Alstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight, and he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Henrik is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Alstrand, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who is this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? So either he took something that didn't make him remember, or somebody else was impersonating him. The Immortal Baron. The Baron of Brandenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle near Alstrad, and like most of those of noble birth, rumors have inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a noble from the Rhinelands, claiming the role of protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remain popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring have never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the West over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of this country. So, possibly an old person, immortal, and a contract that says, if you help him, I will become part of the Black Eagle. Okay. We have to go fast to make sure we get this right. One, two, three. Still locked. What? So. Ooh. I don't think I saw this before. Key! Note. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of human remains, human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brandenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve, whatever comes first. They can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. In a sense, solve both my problems. And so, quite possibly, the rumors of former soldiers with bags may actually be true. But if there are people locked in the wine cellar, do I really want to go to the wine cellar? Let's go in here first.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
East wing. So reinforcement of an old dilapidated castle. That was the piano. I got the key. Maps. Kingdom of Prussia, Central Prussia.
May 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark. brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Let's go back to some light here. Okay. See. I already looked there. Any other? Oh, through here again. Door is open now. Let's go towards the light. Thought you said everything was locked in the cellar. Those trees are too far away. If I break a window, I will not be able to catch one of those trees. that stuff I need to get rid of. Let's go to the wine cellar where things might be. Got twisted around apparently. Let's go to the wine cellar. Our people might be locked up and okay. I am gonna call it there for now. Next time we will visit the wine cellar.